My boyfriend gifted me a train ticket, then Venmo requested it back with a message that ended everything. The notification buzzed at 7:12 in the morning, and I read it 4 times before my body caught up with what my eyes already understood. $47 requested. Memo. You'd find the money if you actually loved me. I sat on the edge of my bed for a long time before I could move. Marcus and I met at a wedding almost 14 months ago. He grew up with a lake house and a golden retriever in every photo. I grew up learning which laundromats let you run a dryer twice for 1/4 if you jiggled the dial right. In the beginning, none of that mattered. He liked that I packed my lunches. I liked that he'd never once had to think about a security deposit. Then reality set in. I have a seizure disorder, so driving isn't an option for me. It's the train or nothing. And a round-trip ticket costs more than I spend on groceries in a week. I work retail for $14 an hour, and by the second week of every month, rent has already eaten most of what I made. When I told him I couldn't visit some weekends, he didn't hear budget. He heard excuse. The first time money stopped me from coming, he went quiet for 2 days. Then sent a message about how people find time for what matters. So I found it. I walked 40 minutes to work for a month instead of taking the bus, just to save enough for 1 ticket. I sold books I'd had since college. I skipped lunch more times than I want to admit. He never knew any of it, because the one time I tried to explain, his face did this thing, polite, distant, like I was performing hardship for attention. So instead of explaining, I showed him my pay stub, my rent breakdown, a screenshot of my account sitting at $11 4 days before payday. He looked at it and said, just pull from your savings. I didn't have savings. That was the whole point. Then he asked to see my spending history, convinced I was hiding something. He found a $6 iced coffee I'd bought myself for my birthday and held the phone up like he'd cracked a case. You had money for this. I apologized. I actually apologized for buying myself a coffee. After that, the excuse became his nickname for my job. Every shift I couldn't get out of was somehow a lie I was telling him. When I visited, we'd cook together, and then a Venmo request for half the groceries would land before the dishes were even done. This from a man with a wine fridge, splitting $9 of cheese with someone who'd been eating rice and eggs all week. At a dinner with his friends, he announced we'd split the bill evenly. My share was $60. I ordered a salad and paid it so I wouldn't embarrass him. Later, I found out he'd told those same friends I was weird about money. For my birthday, he bought me a designer bag worth more than my rent and looked confused when I didn't light up. For his, I saved for 6 weeks and got him a decent bottle of whiskey. He opened it in front of his roommate and laughed. You didn't have to. I know things are tight for you. I stared at the floor. In over a year, he never once came to see me. He owns a car. When I asked why, he said my town kind of depressed him. Last month, he offered to pay for my ticket, called it a gift, said he'd been thinking about everything I told him. I cried a little on the platform. The weekend was perfect. No bills, no comments, his hand in mine at the farmer's market. Then my manager scheduled me for a Saturday double. I called to explain, offered a video call instead, sent a photo of the schedule. He said, sure, whatever, and hung up first. His texts that night were 1 word each. I told myself he just needed the night. Then came the request, $47, a memo designed to hurt. For the first time in 14 months, it worked exactly the way he intended. Except instead of guilt, all I felt was clarity.